Daniel subconsciously rummed the stone amulet that hung around his neck. It was a movement he made whenever he was deep in thought. Finally he responded, "I won't leave her there. I can't just leave her to die with the rest of them." Daniel looked down upon the doomed city, the city of his birth. He served it faithfully. At a young age, he'd been ripped from his mother and given to its army. He was trained to be a soldier, and he belonged to the city itself. Emotions were beaten out of him. All of his life he pointed pointless orders. He fought in battles, then he followed even more pointless orders, never questioning his superiors or their motives. As he surveyed the scene, he was surprised that, save for one, he felt no concern or pity for the inhabitants he served. He had done all he could for them. Now, at the start of the inevitable demise, there were no sadness for the city itself, just a stoic acceptance. Donatia, his wife, was the only person for whom Daniel spared concern. His battlefield heroics had allowed him the privilege of marrying her. Most of the soldiers weren't given that luxury. She was the only woman he had ever loved, and she was the only person who had loved him. His marriage and his friendship with Carrot were the only two important relationships he had ever formed. Carrot spoke and broke Daniel's concentration. "There is a way in, you know." Daniel averted his gaze from the city and looked at Carrot. He was listening. Carrot continued, "The tunnel, I told you about it before, remember?" Daniel remembered. The ancient and forgotten tunnel ran from hidden room underneath the one of the city's temples and exited outside the walls at the base of a hill. Carrot and his long-ago friends had explored the narrow space in their views. Of that group, Carrot was the only one still living. As for its tunnel, its outside entrance was hidden by a boulder, but two strong men could push it enough, just enough to crawl inside. Carrot wasn't sure if anyone else even knew of this existence. Carrot voice intensified. "We'll sneak in tonight. The entire army isn't here yet, so we should be able to make it past their lines." He pointed to a spot towards the southern end of the city, outside its wall. "Look there, what luck for us! They don't have many soldiers in that area. That's where the tunnel's entrance is. A small group can easily sneak in and out." Both men studied the area, and Carrot gave a wide smile and put his hand reassuringly on Daniel's shoulder. "My friend, tonight we shall save your wife together." Daniel rubbed his amulet and responded, "Let's get some rest. We have much to accomplish tonight." He was grateful that he had Carrot with him, but he wondered how workable the plan really was. At dusk, the two men laid themselves in the dirt, trying to get their first sleep in 3 days. Their plan was straightforward. They would wake up after the half-moon slipped below the horizon and sneak their way to the mouth of the cave. They would quietly move the boulder aside and slip into the city. Once they were inside, nobody would bother them. They would retrieve Donatia and slip back out. Daniel's sleep was fitful, and he had dreamed of both Dania and a strange figure who stood behind her while she danced. The figure was really a silhouette of a large man with no features distinguishable upon its face. Donatia danced around the figure, and Daniel could tell the figure was watching her, even though he couldn't see its eyes. Finally, the dark figure spoke to him. "I can help you save her." His voice made a hissing sound. Donatia continued to dance seductively, and the figure repeated itself. "I could help you save her, but you must wake up now." Daniel opened his eyes. It was night. The starry sky and half-moon provided the only light. As he sat up, he saw the outline, the being he had just dreamt of standing right next to him. He made a grab for his sword. "No," the creature hissed. Daniel felt an unseen force push his arm back down, away from his sword. "You called me here. Now you will listen."